Good afternoon. I'm Marilee Rosine Beasley, and I'm going to bring some more ideas of fun things to do with children or maybe adults during this holiday season. I bought some of the things at Dollar Tree. There's one in my neighborhood, and also several items I got at Hobby Lobby. First, what I wanted to show you is the other day I was working on these ornaments, and I got these at Dollar Tree. I already had the little Santas, the little tiny tree, and I had this little deer. And so there's two versions. One is as though there's snow, and the other is a clear day. And I put a little bit of snow and other things down in the bottom. Okay, so that was the other day. Now, when I was at Hobby Lobby last week, I discovered that they had these. So what I want to suggest is that you might want to consider going there. Now, this comes with it. And so what is possible is to get your glue, and I recommend highly that you make sure that this sits overnight. So I would probably pick out, I've got this little Santa, and then I would I have different trees of different sizes. I have little and medium and big. So I would look through all of my trees and figure out the one that probably makes the most sense with this Santa. And then I would decorate accordingly. All right, so I would put it in here, and when it's dry, then put it in there. And then at the end, what I also would do while it's drying is I would get some braid probably, and a lot of stores sell a braid that could cover this. You could also do a ribbon, and maybe you could do a little bit of rope. There's just different ideas that you could do. So anyway, that's just a quick idea of something that you can do for fun right now. Now, I like to say these things. This is from the bottom of a cake. So what I do is I wash them, dry them, and let them dry. And you have to be very careful, because if you're not careful, then what happens is it gets a little bit soggy, and then it may not work very well. But then what I did is I put some glue on here, and my goal was to make it in different heights so that it wouldn't look just solid. So I have this fake snow. I put a little bit of glitter in it, and then I just did something like this, and then you shake it, and then whatever's left over, make sure you're doing it over something like a paper plate, a piece of newspaper, something where you can save all of it and use it whatever's left. Okay, so that's an easy idea. Now, another thing I wanted to show that's pretty easy is to take stickers. Now, what I did is I took some cardstock, and I have a lot of different colors. I took the cardstock, folded it, cut it into different little cards. So I have these little mini cards, and I have many colors, but I wanted to just do a few. So what I can do is I can take something, and I did this with two little boys yesterday, and they really had fun. Now, you can buy stickers it's a little bit sticky on the back, and then they can create their own little card, however they want to do it, and do something like this, and just, whatever you want to do, something that looks like holiday, whatever the holiday would be fun. Okay, now another thing that I have, now this one doesn't have sticky on the back, so this one I would need to go ahead and get a little bit of glue, one of this is another glue that I saw the other day at Dollar Tree. I think it dries clear. So what you can do is do something like this, and then wait. If you may want to put something inside first, and then on the outside, put the little bit of glue, put it on there, and then let it dry thoroughly, which would be several hours. That's my recommendation. So these are two things that I've shown you. Now, I got these stickers at Hobby Lobby. There's quite a few in a package, and there were so many I was able to give some to different children or their parents to do. Okay, now, one idea, of course, is you could put it on here, or maybe if you have these round discs, and I cut several of these could be something that's looks like an ornament on a tree. And what you can do is you could put something in the middle, or take one of these others, something like this. You could get some ribbon, or I do have cord. So you could take a cord, and then what you can do is cut it, put it between the two pieces, and then you want to make sure it has had time to dry thoroughly. And now you have an inexpensive little thing that looks like an ornament. And you can pick out, I see that there's one here with a snowman, so you can put that in the middle. There's one with some candy canes. So you have lots of different choices. Now, I also bought this twine. It's off-white, has a little bit of gold flecks in it, and this is ideal for doing things like this. And there were 2 rolls in a package, so this is going to last quite a while. Now, I also have this ribbon, so the ribbon is good for these kinds of things. Now, I do have some other things that I just buy a few things every year and use some, save the rest. These are little miniature wreaths. You could even do a miniature wreath here, glue it, let it dry, or on a little card, whatever you want to do. I have some things like this that were from a July 4th thing that I had. They come in silver, so I have some silver ones somewhere, or I may have used them up. Now, I also at Hobby Lobby bought a package, and it had several of these poinsettias. So these are the kind of things that I could take out. They're sticky on one side, so I could take this out. And now, if it's not sticky enough, you could always add just a little bit of glue. So then I could put something like this on a card, or on one of these little ornaments. Okay, so those are just some easy ideas of things that you might do. Because what we're looking for are some fun things. They're not very expensive. Somebody I was working with yesterday was 4.5. Now, one of the things that he was doing is he was decorating an ornament, and so it looked like this. Okay, so he had a little bit of red and white confetti that he dropped down in here. Now, you could also put a little bit of snow down here with some glitter, and then he had this little Santa, a paper Santa. And so what we did is he punched a hole in it, or somebody punched it for him. And then I took some red ribbon, but if you had another color, maybe white, you could use that. And if you wanted to, you could also add a couple of berries at the top, and then do, whatever. I added some cord. I think I used this cord. I wrapped some ribbon around, I had some red ribbon, and I used this cord, and it was very cute. And he's 4.5, and it was his creation. He needed some help tying the bow, but other than that, he thought of it all. Oh, and he also decided to add one of these on the side, which I thought was very, it was something I wouldn't have thought of. But anyway, it's really fun to work with children because they always have some ideas that you don't even think of. So the basic thing I would say is get several things together, give them the items, and then stand back and let them do it. Okay, now, another thing that I like to do is I like to take the scraps that are left over. Like when I was cutting these items, I had this one would be big enough to do a little card. I had a lot of little scraps left over. And what you can do is take these, maybe, cut them, make triangles, maybe if you have something else that you could hole punch, or if you have some of these punches. I do have a punch that I got at Hobby Lobby. This is 2.5 inches. And so this is how I ended up with these right here. Okay, so this is something, and there's all kinds of colors, and children are very good about taking something that you might just say, oh, let's just put that in the trash. And then they could take it and turn it into something else. And I like to buy cardstock in different colors. So I would pick out a color and then put different colors on there, or have them do it. Okay, now I want to show something that I did last year. I had a different deer last year. These are hand carved. They're from Indonesia, where I lived when I was very young. And after my parents died, I ended up with these. Now, this right here is the bottom of a birthday cake, a big birthday cake. I took this, washed it, let it dry, and later started thinking about what is it that I could do with this. So what I did is I put some glue down, took some fake snow, sprinkled it, added a little bit probably of some glitter. Then I took actual pieces of things that were like pine cone pieces and just things that were outside. This is real greenery. Now, what I would recommend is that what I will do is I will toss this, and then next year I'll use fresh greenery. So this was fresh the other day. Then what I wanted to do was disguise the little battery pack that goes with these little tiny lights. So I cut a piece of this and then just covered this right here, and then and just kind of fold this under, and nobody really is paying attention to this. And I've had it against the wall, so nobody really saw this at all. Now, one thing I do recommend is that in order to make this thing last a long time, I recommend that you take the batteries out at the end of the holiday season so that the item will last for a long time. So anyway, that is something that I did, and basically everything here was something that I had. These right here, there's a Spanish wine, Riojas Reserva, that I happen to like, and these are on the bottle, so I haven't had any of it in a long time, but I saved all of these and then just kind of laid them down, and I just think it's created sort of a wonderland thing that I think is really nice. So everything here is either something else that I had. I did buy the little teeny tiny lights. The rest of it, it was something else. So this is just a way to think about doing something with something else. Okay, and I just want to say that I love Christmas cards, holiday cards. And I bought a box of these, and I just love these colors. So this is something that you could make something else with it. I had extras. I also found these, thought these would be a nice gift. I gave some of these. I did keep these for myself, and I bought extras of these and given these away. So anyway, these are just some easy ideas, things to make and maybe things to give. Anyway, have a blessed day.